Okay, so we all want to raise like resilient kids, right? Kids who can, roll with the punches and bounce back from setbacks.
Absolutely.
But how do we actually do that? Well, lucky for us, we're diving into 5 tips for building resilience in children today. And let me tell you, I'm all ears because honestly, some days it feels like I'm just winging it over here.
Well, you're not alone. I think a lot of parents feel that way.
Yeah.
But the good news is resilience is a skill.
Yeah.
It's not something that some kids are just like born with. It's something we can teach them.
Okay, that's a huge relief because just the other day, my kid like completely lost it when their block tower fell over. It was like the world was ending. Seriously, like how do we even begin to teach them to handle those everyday disappointments?
You've actually hit on a really important point with the block tower example, because so often our instinct is to just jump in and fix things for our kids, right?
100%, yeah.
But what if, instead of rebuilding the tower, we ask them, wow, that was tricky. What do you think we could try differently next time?
Oh, that's good.
We're not just solving the problem for them, we're showing them how to problem solve.
Right, guy, don't just do. Easier said than done, though, am I right? I mean, it's tough to resist that urge to swoop in and be the hero.
Totally. It's definitely a learning curve for us parents, too. But that brings us to another really important point. Kids are always watching us.
Oh boy, are they ever.
They learn so much by observing how we handle our own challenges, our own, moments of, shall we say, less than stellar resilience.
Huh, yeah. Speaking of which, remember that time my internet crashed right before we were supposed to record a live podcast episode?
Oh, yeah.
Talk about a stress test. I mean, that was a disaster waiting to happen.
And what did you do? You found a workaround, got us back online, and I seem to recall even cracking a joke about it on air.
I think I blocked that whole day out, to be honest.
But that's resilience in action, right?
Well, what can I say? I'm a professional. But I get your point. They see how we react, even when we think they're not paying attention.
Precisely. And, it doesn't mean we have to be perfect all the time.
Thank goodness, because that's never going to happen.
Exactly. None of us are perfect, and that's okay. But it's about making an effort to approach challenges with a positive attitude, a solutions-oriented mindset. And, that actually ties into the next 2 tips, which are all about fostering a growth mindset and, get this, allowing them to fail.
Okay, hold on. Growth mindset, I get it. We want kids who see challenges as opportunities to learn and grow, but allowing them to fail, that seems, I don't know, a little counterintuitive, doesn't it?
It might seem that way at first, yeah. But think about it like this. Imagine a kid learning to ride a bike.
Okay, a picture, yeah.
They don't just hop on and, become a pro overnight. Right.
Right.
There are going to be wobbles, a few falls, maybe even some tears along the way. But each attempt, each time they get back on that bike, they learn something new.
Okay, that's a good point. I mean, I remember when I was learning to ride a bike, I was like 6 years old, and I was so convinced I could handle it without my training wheels. And spoiler alert, I couldn't. I ended up with a face full of gravel, totally ate it. Not my proudest moment, but it's a good story now.
Exactly. And I bet you never forgot how to ride a bike, right?
Right, definitely learned that lesson the hard way, though, I gotta say.
Exactly. And that's what it's all about. Those so-called failures are actually just opportunities for growth. It's how we learn and get better.
So we're not just teaching them to ride bikes, we're setting them up for success in life, basically. Okay, so we've covered a lot. We talked about encouraging problem solving, being role models for resilience, fostering a growth mindset, and even allowing for a little bit of failure along the way. It's a lot to think about. But, when our kids do succeed, do we need to, like, throw a party every time they tie their shoes?
Well, every success is worth celebrating, but I see what you mean. It's easy to focus on the end result, right? The A on the test, the winning goal. But one of the most powerful things we can do is praise their effort, not just the outcome.
So instead of saying, like, oh my gosh, you're so smart, we should say something like, wow, I can tell you worked really hard on that project.
Exactly. You're acknowledging and praising the process, the dedication, the perseverance.
Yeah.
Because that's what really matters, right?
It's funny because we're always so quick to, like, celebrate the outcome, but it's all that hard work that leads up to it that makes it so rewarding.
Exactly. And, one really simple but effective tool we can use here is the word yet.
Yet. Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So instead of saying you can't do it, we can say you haven't mastered this yet, but keep practicing, and I know you will.
Oh, that's good.
It's a subtle shift in language, but it makes a world of difference. It reframes setbacks as opportunities for growth, and reminds them that their abilities aren't fixed. They can always learn and improve.
Wow, the power of yet. I love that. I'm totally stealing that one for myself too.
Go for it.
Amazing how such a simple shift in language can make such a difference. So, to recap, we've got encourage problem solving, be role models for resilience, foster a growth mindset, allow for those inevitable stumbles, and praise the effort, not just the outcome. We've covered a lot. What a deep dive this has been.
It really has. But it all boils down to this. We're giving our kids the tools to navigate the ups and downs of life, to bounce back from challenges, and to keep growing.
Because let's be honest, life is full of curveballs.
It certainly is, and that's why resilience is so important.
So true. Well, I know what I'm working on with my kids. Makes you wonder, though, what's one thing that we as adults could do today to boost our own resilience? Something to ponder. But for now, a huge thank you to you for joining me on this incredibly insightful deep dive. I always learn so much from our conversations. Until next time, everyone.